This problem is from the textbook. It's page 586, problem number 3. Find the slope and the unit rate represented on each graph. Okay, this graph that you see over here has seconds across its x-axis, and then it has feet going up. One thing we got to be careful of is making sure that we take a look at what the units are being counted by. Okay, going across the bottom, it looks like they're counting by ones. If you look at each of the little tick marks here. And then going up, you're also counting by ones. So that works out nicely. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to first locate the slope. To do that, I need to find a spot where this line crosses the one of the grid lines. So I look right here. It looks like it crosses the right real nicely right here. And I just continue on. It's kind of hard to tell, but it looks like it also crosses right at this spot right there. Okay, those 2 points that I have right there, one is going to be 5, 2, and the second point that I have there is going to be 10, 4. So I'll write that one down. I'm going to label each of these as x and y for my ordered pairs. We'll call this the first ordered pair, put little ones here, subnotation, and then little twos over here. Okay, I'm going to write down my formula that we can use, the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and I'm just going to substitute in the numbers that we have here. So y2 is 4, y1 is 2, x2 is 10, x1 is 5. 4 minus 2 is 2, 10 minus 5 is 5. So we end up with a slope of 2/5. So there's our slope. Now we could have gone ahead and made a slope triangle. So let me do it using a slope triangle because some of you prefer that method. So I'm going to go ahead and make my slope triangle straight on up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to count over. And if I count over very carefully how far it is from here to here in terms of boxes, start at 5, go to 10. So that means 5 boxes over. And that's going to be our run. And then we're going to be going up 2 boxes. So that's going to be a rise of 2. And then remember that another way to represent slope is to represent it using our rise over our run. Our rise is 2, our run is 5. And again, we arrive at that same answer, that 2/5. Okay, so that takes care of the first part, finding the slope. The second part says the unit rate represented on each of the graphs. Okay, well, if we take a look at this graph right here and figure out what each of them represents, the 2 is the top number, and that's going to be your y. So that's going to be 2 feet. So for every 2 feet, we go ahead and we go over. It's going to take 5 seconds to go ahead and come on over. Okay, but what we want to know how much it's going to be is how much it will be per second for every second. So to go ahead and do that, what we can do is just divide the two numbers. If you take 2 divided by 5 and you divide that carefully, so let me show you that real quick. Oops, I get a 0 here. Looks like you're going to get a 0.4. And if you do that, you're going to end up with a 0.4. What that means, 0.4 of a foot in 1 second. And this is going to be your unit rate. This right here would represent your unit rate. Okay, so all you got to do is just divide the two numbers, and then you'll be okay to come up with that unit rate. Okay, so our two answers, slope 2/5, and then our unit rate is 0.4 of a foot in 1 second.